What is going on, everybody? My name is Cookie6. Welcome along back to my channel today. Today we've got quite an interesting video, so get yourselves tucked in and let's get into it. Right, so as I was just chilling on this sofa behind me last night, just scrolling through my phone on Twitter, a tweet came up on my phone, and it was by this girl called Jess, and it's like 4 little picture things here. I read through it and I was like, oh my days, what is this? And it was just in its infancy, and I thought, all right, let's see what this is all about then. And I followed it, and this is what we've come up with today. So this fella that's in the thumbnail and on your screen right now is Chris Ingham. Chris Ingham is part of the Ingham family who make YouTube videos here right on YouTube. There's got like 4 different accounts and they do daily vlogs. Chris does some like roller skating sort of videos, and he's in a bit of hot water. So it turns out the Ingham family have quite a lot of young audience members, and one of those is Jess. And back in October of last year, it turns out Ingham family and Jess were at Disney World at the same time. But it didn't just end there. It turns out Chris and Jess got talking. So this is a bit weird because Chris has got a wife and 3 kids and Jess is 16. Chris at this point in time is literally double her age. So we have some messages here. Just a brief overview. If you want to pause it, then fine, go with that. Now in this statement she said she's quite scared to sort of get it out. I don't blame her. It's quite a bit of a weird thing to happen against someone as popular as this Ingham family. She says in the statement that she deleted the direct message conversation that her and Chris had, but then she found the messages again with her email account. They're on the screen right now, and some show the messages that were sent to Jess, but some as well are sort of blocked out, so you can't really work out what the whole message was. This is all pretty weird for a middle-aged man to sort of be telling that to a 16-year-old girl, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now I decided to try and get my detective hat on, so I sent Jess a message via DMs myself, and I asked her, just in your post about Chris Ingham, in the pictures about the DMs, you've blocked some stuff out and I just wanted to know why and what it was. Did I get a response? No, just not relevant enough. Now these images, they don't look fake, but the fact is that because some of the messages have been a little bit blocked out, it does cause a little bit of suspicion around quite a touchy subject. And it sort of makes you feel like we're not getting the full story. Some people on Twitter decided to message back and say how proud they were of Jess for what she's gone and done with releasing these images and statements and whatever. And some people just outright called her a liar and just went off at her saying you're a sick human being for doing what you're doing right now. Which I think is a bit weird. When there's evidence backing up what she's saying, I think it's a bit strange to attack someone saying you're a liar. Other people also tagged Summer in the City into the thread and asked for them to remove the Ingham family from their event, which is coming up in a few weeks time. It turns out, as I'm recording this, on the Summer in the City website, they've actually been removed from the guest list, so something's obviously gone on. I sent the wife of Chris, Sarah, a message asking if she had any reply to all of this, to which I got no reply. I'm just not relevant. Something interesting has happened on her account now. She deleted a tweet saying it's all rubbish. I don't actually have a screenshot of that, but I can assure you it was there last night and now it's gone this morning. So something is obviously gone on. It would signal to me shit has hit the fan in the Ingham household. Also, while this was kicking off last night, Sarah was blocking people left, right and centre for mentioning what was being accused of Chris. It seems a bit suspicious to me. It's almost like trying to cover it up. I didn't get blocked though. I'm honestly so irrelevant, it hurts. So with this Jess lass coming forward with this accusation of Chris, someone else also had the courage to come forward. Enter Hayley. Hayley reckons she did as Chris asked and even slept with him. She sent Jess screenshots of what Chris has allegedly said to Hayley in regards to sleeping with him via Snapchat. This is what he's had to say. This is deadly serious, so listen and think carefully. Bit condescending, bit threatening. It's alright, you just go for it, Chris. Another iFam has messaged me saying that you told them about when we met and that we slept together. Now, do you remember the agreement that you signed on that day? The one where I could legally sue you for £250,000 and you could face serial legal problems if you spoke to anyone about it. Right, I'm just gonna jump in there. That is absolutely mental. It would seem that not only is Chris going behind his wife and kids' back to play away, he's doing it with a young child as well, and he's making that person sign an NDA agreement, which is just mental. Now for now it's okay because I have told this particular iFam that it's not true, so she isn't going to take it any further, but you can't speak to her and tell her that I have spoken to you about it, because she hasn't directly told me that it was you, but told me the story of what happened when we met, so it has to have been you. Please realise that you can't tell anyone this stuff ever. Now to be honest, if this is true, this for me is hook, line and sinker. Chris Ingham has been playing away from home, cheating on his wife and with young girls. There's more to this, and it goes on to say, you could destroy my family and my business if anyone told Sarah things like that. I want to hang out and be chill, but I can't ever if I can't trust you. So can I trust you to never speak of that to anyone again? You especially can't ever tell iFam. Jeez, that will destroy our whole image and everything. And if Sarah finds out, my life's done. Promise me you will never do that again. So that seems to me pretty clear. If this is Chris Ingham, and this is Chris Ingham's Snapchat, it's the real Chris Ingham, this fella on the screen right now who looks like Ian Watkins, it's not looking good, is it? So it's a bit crazy, but it sounds like Hayley has gone and slept with skater boy Chris over here, and she's even signed a bloody NDA agreement to keep her gob shut. As he said, if she breaks that, he can sue her. So it's a pretty mad world, isn't it? Now with this coming out, Sarah Ingham has actually gone and blocked Hayley, obviously. Oh, and also, you know Chris's YouTube profile picture? Well, it's him and his family. And who's that on the right? Yeah, that's right, it's Jess. No, I shit you not, that was the picture taken at Disney with Jess and her sister. Her sister, though, has conveniently been cropped out of that picture. To make things even better, this picture was on Instagram, and funnily enough, now this has come out, it's no longer there and has been deleted. Notice as well in the first picture how he didn't mention Jess's sister either. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Hayley and Jess also responded to people calling Hayley a liar by actually showing them that she was friends with Chris on Snapchat and that she had his number. So they put a little video on the Twitter in the thread as well, and they rang this number, they've blocked the number out for privacy reasons, and allegedly he answers it and then they just ring off. Read into that what you will, I don't think that's much evidence. And that's pretty much all the knowledge we have so far as of 5 PM on the 3rd of July. So for me, it does seem pretty dodgy, especially if there's bloody NDA agreements involved. That's mental. With all the knowledge that's been presented to us by Jess and the blatant trying to hide of this situation from Sarah and Chris, it's not looking very good for them, is it? And it's also not looking very good for YouTube as a whole, with YouTubers still trying to exploit their young fans. Now, some people have gone and called Chris a nonce. I wouldn't go out and say he's a nonce, but it does look really strange. So for me, it's more of a moral thing. He's married. Why are you trying to play away in the first place? You've got kids. Just what are you doing? You're allegedly making young girls sign NDA agreements, which is just so strange. So strange. On the other side, though, there is information missing, which is pretty weird. And could there be some sort of setup going on here from Jess to maybe gain some popularity? I don't know, time will tell, but right now it's really not looking good for Chris, the Ingham family and YouTube as a whole once again. Oh, we're not done yet! So I recorded this before the England game and I've just come back onto my laptop. There's more information. Summer in the City have officially announced that the Ingham family won't be attending their event this year, but Chris has also released a statement to his profile as well. Let's take a look. We're aware that certain untrue stories have been posted on social media platforms in the last 24 hours regarding Chris. These stories are not true and the accusations made are entirely without foundation. We are all very hurt and deeply upset by these cynical attempts to damage Chris's reputation and will take whatever steps are necessary to preserve Chris's good name. He's straight in there saying this is untrue and it's just a ploy to damage his reputation and good name. To be honest, I don't think he's written this, but we'll carry on reading anyway. We are taking action and cannot comment further at this time. As a result of the stress these false reports have caused to the whole family, the decision has been taken not to appear at the upcoming Summit in the City event next month. This is not a decision that has been taken lightly and we want to apologise to our fans for this. One thing I want to point out from the end bit there is the word they. They apparently decided that they weren't going to go to Summer in the City. They decided. I highly doubt that's the case, but yeah, sure, if you want to go with that, then fine. Someone came back with this comment to his statement, and I thought it was hilarious. But anyway, it's not looking good for the Ingham family, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. So now, with all that knowledge that has been produced in this video, what do you guys think? Is Chris still in the wrong? Is he just looking out for his good name and whatever that is? Or is it going to be completely founded on a myth that Jess has created to gain popularity or for whatever reason? What do we think it is? I personally believe Chris might have been playing away from home. Like that person commented saying he's cheated on his missus. I think personally that's the way I'm looking at it. This is actually now the end of the video, and if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit like. Also, if you really like this video, hit subscribe with that bell notification button. I've been Cookie6. I'll see you next time. Take care.
There has been allegations that have come to light surrounding Chris, and these allegations have been made by a 16-year-old girl.
The father of the Ingham family had been very inappropriate with them, not only in person but also on social media.
Well, apparently, allegedly, the father in the family, Chris Ingham, well, he's a fucking creep.
You have to remember, the truth always comes out.
YouTube family vlog channels, arguably the most pleasant of all the genres. Is there anything more wholesome and endearing than placing your whole personal life on display for the entire world to see? What could go wrong, right? Shoving a camera on your child's face and adding cute, lighthearted music to your family vacation at Disneyland in an effort to generate a passionate fandom that will blindly consume any and all watered-down content you so happen to feed them? A genius business model, no doubt, and an easy way to make your life appear seemingly perfect. But sometimes, the pretty pictures showcased on camera hardly reflect the murky happenings that occur when the cameras cease to roll. I'm sure you've seen this play out at least a few dozen times by now. One of your favorite creators, comedians, or dare I say Nickelodeon producers gets hit with a multitude of incriminating allegations that suggest they weren't near as ethical as they initially made themselves out to be. It's a cycle we've all witnessed time and time again, no community being excluded. So really, it was only a matter of time before the online vlogging community got hit. In case you're like me and aren't quite up to speed with the Ingham family lore, they're a pretty popular channel with over 1 million subscribers and 350 million views. They pretty much just make daily vlogs showcasing their kids and family outings, I guess. I've noticed they spend a considerable amount of time at hotels, and well, that'll start to make sense here in a second. This cast is made up of 5 main characters, Chris being the father, married to Sarah, with their 3 daughters, who we won't be talking much about as they're frankly irrelevant to the rest of the story. Unfortunately, we won't be touching upon their wholesome and easily monetizable content today, as I'm sure that'd make for a very boring and uneventful experience. Instead, my grievances are a bit more personal. See, this train wreck all started back in October of 2017, but has only come to light over the past month. A young fan by the name of Jess put up a post in early July describing her alleged interactions with the family. According to her tweet, the Inghams happened to be staying at Disney World Orlando at the same time as her own family. After finding this out, she excitedly messaged Chris on Twitter asking if they could meet up once they arrived in Florida. He obliged, and Jess was thrilled. She couldn't wait to finally meet one of her favorite YouTubers in the flesh. And at first, it all went fine. They took pictures, hugged, the works. He was even so kind as to post them to his Instagram, Twitter, and make the picture his channel Avi. It was safe to say things were going well for both parties. But unfortunately, it kind of took a weird turn.
He messaged me multiple times saying how I was so beautiful and pretty and asking me why I didn't have loads of boyfriends at home. He then kept asking me if I could sneak out of my family's hotel room to go for walks with him between midnight and 2 AM. And then he said how he was going to come to my hotel room for a party. He said how we should sneak into the pool when it's closed and how I was contemplating going skinny dipping.
So essentially, you have this 34-year-old married father of 3 constantly messaging a 16-year-old girl late into the night every night asking if she would join him on his walks around the complex at 2 in the morning, and then wanting to skinny dip with a minor! Now, if you get into the minutia, it could be a lot worse. course, back home in England, the age of consent is 16, so it wouldn't be much of an issue there. Incredibly creepy, but not illegal. However, this is America, and the age of consent in Florida happens to be 18, so yes, assuming this is true, Chris could easily face plenty of serious repercussions for saying the heinous things that he allegedly did. But of course, with any new allegations cropping up, the possibility always remains. What if she's lying? Needless to say, with a fan base as big as the Inghams, Jess has faced her own fair share of doubters, which understandably so. When there's an unprecedented amount of real Me Too accusations on the rise, you're gonna have your fair share of fake ones as well. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where frivolous character assassinations are not hard to come by. The truth then boils down to weeding out the lies amongst the truth, which is and should be judged on a case-by-case basis. And in this case, if Jess is lying, she's doing a damn good job. Regrettably, the Twitter convo itself is now gone as she swiftly deleted it after 40-year-old Leafy creeped her the fuck out. But she does have the emails archived from when the DMs were sent. You can kind of see what was said here, and it really doesn't do much justice to Chris's side of things. And just in case you think there was some clever Photoshop at play, Jess posted a video scrolling through her emails, clicking on the message, which then takes us to Chris's Twitter profile that she's since been blocked from. That's a big ol' yikes right there. I tend to keep an open mind with these kinds of things, but frankly, I have no idea how you could fake something like that. There was also a second victim that came forward preceding Jess's story, a 19-year-old by the name of Bella Fern. They met at the hotel she worked at and snapped each other pretty regularly. According to Bella's testimony, Chris sent a rather demented picture of himself on Snapchat in reply to a selfie she shared. Apparently she was wearing a towel or some shit, but that just wasn't enough for Chris, I guess. He's just never satisfied, is he? That dog. I'd say it's looking really bad for this dude right now. The evidence is piling up and the police have been notified. You'd think that the family would take a hiatus for a bit, maybe lay low and wait for the controversy to die down. But no, there's money to be made. Chris's talent agency had originally posted a statement to Twitter when the story came out, but quickly deactivated his account, which is more than slightly suspicious if you ask me. Besides that, the rest of the family seems to be operating as normal, as if nothing happened, even trying to spice up their content a little, it seems. I'm gonna be honest, I was a little shocked to see Chris got a surprise tattoo of his wife's name in the middle of all this, along with a pregnancy announcement. I mean, the timing really couldn't have been worse, could it? I've seen some speculation that the tattoo and pregnancy announcement were deliberately revealed at this time as a diversion from the scandal, which to me is a bit of a reach, but it's not outside the realm of possibility, I guess. I say this because the rest of their handling of the situation has been poor at best. Again, besides the occasional comment on Instagram or YouTube, and nobody has really addressed anything. You'd think that if these allegations were faked, Chris and Sarah would come out vehemently opposing Jess and Bella, but even a month after coming forward, they still haven't said anything of the sort. I understand that what's private is private and they're not allowed to disclose much, especially if an investigation is underway, but the audience still has a right to know what's already public, and from my perspective at least, they're trying as best they can to sweep it all under the rug. Taking down videos, being defensive, and of course hiding behind their legal team only makes them appear more guilty. Of course, at the end of the day, there's no way for me to truly know whether or not these allegations are true, as I am not directly involved in the situation. I can't pretend like I know for certain what's factual and what isn't, but I still have my opinion. There's just no way you can convince me he didn't do this. Even if this was completely made up, there's just nothing for a 16-year-old girl to gain here. I don't understand why she would feel the need to assassinate Chris's reputation, especially when she's always claimed to be such a fan. She's been blocked by every Twitter account they own, so either they really hate all the lies she's spreading, or she's actually speaking the truth and they can't afford to have their good name tarnished in such a cataclysmic and embarrassing fashion. Now, if the news does break that it's all been fabricated, then I will be the first to say that I was wrong. As messed up as it is, people have actually lied about this stuff in the past, and it really does delegitimize the actual victims who come forward with actual accusations, which is why we also shouldn't be quick to discredit the victim's story either. So presuming Jess is being sincere, she deserves the utmost respect and support for being so brave as to come clean about it all. Grooming is a disgusting phenomenon, and I not only hurt for the victims, but also the Ingham children who have been looped into this situation by proxy. I can only imagine what kind of example this sets for them, and for their own sake, I do really hope that it's all nothing more than a mere fabrication. Though at this point, I really doubt it. Even if you disagree with me and think I suck and that it's all fake, feel free to let me know why in the comments. I'll be sure and read as many as I can before Chris inevitably strikes this video down, making all of my editing and research an utter waste of time. God, I love YouTube. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. Just kidding, it's Jay Aubrey, but today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. This video will not be scripted, it's not really gonna be edited all that much. It's just gonna be me responding to Chris Ingham's recent response video, if that makes sense. I'm sure a lot of you know at this point, Chris Ingham has been in some pretty hot water as of late, to say the very least. I made a video on it, several other people have made videos on it. If you don't know much about it, I would recommend going and watching that first, or else you're not going to understand anything in this video. But finally, he's broke his silence, and he's come out with this 22-minute video explaining why he's been quiet for so long. And I have forced myself to watch this video twice now, and it is still, even after 2 viewings, it's one of the worst apology videos you could find. I mean, it's not even really, I'm reluctant to call it an apology video because he doesn't apologize for anything. In fact, he denies every single allegation that's been put forward, which I don't see how you can do. You know, I mean, just looking at the evidence. So we're just gonna go through. We're gonna go through and talk about each of, well, not each of his points, because that would make for a really long video, and I'm trying not to do that. It's 1 in the morning, and I got to get up in 5 hours. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. So we're going to try to keep it as short as we can, but there is a lot to get into here, don't get me wrong. Also, I'm really tired of staring at this one single frame where it looks like he's simultaneously sneezing and nutting at the same time, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it, I think.
Alright guys, so I'm going to be talking to you right now about a few of the things that have been going on behind the scenes with me and my family over the past couple of months. So let me start from the top. The only reason that I've stayed quiet and not addressed this until now was because of the advice given to me by our legal team. We have some of the best lawyers in the country that support me, that support us as a family, that support our business.
Alright, so not even a minute into this, and he's already talking about how great his lawyers are. Saying that, like, we have the best lawyers in the country at the beginning of a video like this, like at the very start of your response video, after months of radio silence, is just a really peculiar way to kick things off. Because what you're saying, right, like, I don't know if this was intentional or not, you're inadvertently scaring other victims into their own silence, because you're saying that you have, you know, the greatest lawyers on the case. Oh my god, guys, we have the best legal team in the country. They're coming for you, okay? We're locked and loaded. We are prepared for anything that is coming our way, so back off. That's the message he's sending out here. And I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or not. I don't know his intentions. That's how it registers for me, and I'm sure it does for a lot of people, and especially the victims who have already come forward. I can only imagine, dude, how they must feel with a video like this. And again, we're not even a minute in. We're not even a minute in. Oh my god.
And due to the nature of the things that people online have portrayed me as being, taking and acting on the advice of our legal team in this has been the most important thing for us to do. That alone is the only reason I have stayed quiet on this and not addressed this until now. The only reason. Nothing to do with being guilty.
Okay, so this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If I had someone come out against me, right, and make all these ridiculous claims that weren't true about me or my character or whatever I stand for, I would vehemently oppose that person and those allegations, and I'd be doing anything I could to make my voice heard, to address the situation, to get my side of the story out there as quickly as possible. Now, I know his management team put out a statement on his Twitter shortly after the allegations came out. I feel like that's different than him coming out and making his own statement that's maybe a bit more personal, that's maybe a bit more sincere, I guess.
Am I a pedophile? No. Hell no. Am I a sexual predator? No. No. Have I ever done anything that could be classed as being sexually inappropriate to anybody? No.
So this part you kind of have to pay attention. I'm not going to make any outrageous claims. I don't want to state any crazy facts or anything. I'm just going to give my own personal theory. He does not look comfortable saying the statement, am I a sexual predator? No. Am I a pedophile? No. He doesn't look like he's saying that with confidence. And again, I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm just looking too far into it. But when a person lies to you, right, all of their mannerisms change. And if you pay attention to the eyes especially, a good indication that somebody is lying to you is they'll start to blink profusely, just over and over for no reason. Again, I could be reading into it too far. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm getting from it. Maybe I'm wrong, you know? Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure you'll do that anyway. So just go ahead, just let me know. Slip me a comment. Tell me, hey, you're fucking wrong, okay? You're wrong. You're making bold statements, bold theories here. No, you know, you can't claim something like that. I don't know. It's what I take away from it, at least. You feel free to disagree. I don't really care.
People like to jump on a bandwagon. People like to get involved and put their two penneth in, put their opinion across. And it's very easy to do so from behind the screen of a phone or the screen of a computer.
Very easy to seduce vulnerable 16-year-old fans from behind the screen of a phone or a computer too, Chris.
But the one thing in all of this that really disturbs me is the complete and utter lack of regard for my children in all of this. Those poor, innocent girls that don't deserve any of this.
Okay, so this is just a matter of time before he brings this up. Not even 4 minutes in, he's already deflecting. Obviously, his family, his wife, his kids, they don't deserve hate. They don't deserve any of this, frankly. You know, it sucks that once somebody like this is outed for doing something just completely heinous and wrong, that, you know, everybody that he affiliates with also gets flack. His family didn't do anything. His kids didn't do anything, and they don't deserve any hate whatsoever. And I'm completely against any type of harassment that comes his way or his family's way. But the only reason he's bringing this up here, right, instead of talking about the issue, instead of talking about why Jess is lying, is to deflect. He wants to direct attention to the amount of pain that's been brought onto his family, even though he's the one who's kind of brought it on himself. He really only has himself to blame. He doesn't talk about the pain that he's brought on to Jess and Bella, any other victim that's in this equation. And the fact that he has the nerve to even act like anybody besides him is responsible for the waves of hate that he's been getting. It's just so messed up. It's so messed up to me. And you'll notice he resorts to this point multiple times throughout the video because it's really the only crutch he has left at this point.
Using my name in every wrong and disgusting way that you can right now.
Okay, so as I just said, he's chastising us for talking about it all, you know. I'm not referring to the idiots who are sending death threats, like leaking his info, doxing him. That's an entirely different animal. And as I said earlier, it's not acceptable in any context. It's never acceptable. But he's speaking pretty broadly here, and I can only assume he's talking to everybody who's ever brought attention to him in general. The victims, the YouTubers, just regular people who are, you know, on Twitter talking about the situation. Any of them could be classified as keyboard warriors in this case. So as long as you're bringing attention and you know, directing new eyes onto the subject, he hates you because you ruined his family. Not like he did that on his own, of course. That'd be ridiculous.
Yet without a single second's thought to the seriousness and the damage that you're causing on the other side of it. Not just to my life, and not just to Sarah's life, but more importantly, to my girls' lives.
You might as well just be talking to a mirror right now.
The only thing that Sarah and I are feeling right now is the worst worry and anxiety that you could imagine about the fact that our children are probably going to go back to school this term and be relentlessly bullied by people, ignorantly and misguidedly, relentlessly bullied by people who misguidedly...
Okay. Messed up on your script there for a second, Chris. It's alright, happens to the best of us. I noticed you looking down a few times, but I guess that blip right there confirms it. You're not being genuine. You're not being raw. You're just spouting off the most cookie-cutter response you could write. And also, what do you mean misguidedly? There's been screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot crop up recently from a slew of different girls. If it's misguided to actually believe the shocking amount of proof that numerous people have now put forward, I guess we're all fucking misguided.
Like, what parent should ever have to go through that?
I don't know, probably one that actually groomed several fans.
Never in my life have I ever done anything that could be even remotely considered that. Not ever. I'm just a normal, hardworking husband and father. Normal guy.
Look at me, guys. I'm just like you. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I eat the delicious breakfast my loving wife prepares for me in the morning. Then I proceed to make an estimate of $230,000 a year while grooming 16-year-old girls on the side. Just like you.
All of the continued relentless harassment that Sarah and I are facing online at the minute, especially on Twitter, is disgusting. It's absolutely outrageous. And that alone is the only reason Sarah and I no longer have our Twitter accounts. Nothing to do with the fact that we're guilty.
Nothing to do with the fact we're guilty. Freudian slip, Chris?
There are people dedicating their lives right now to try and taint every single aspect of mine and Sarah's lives.
This is the internet, Chris. When people think you've done something demonstrably wrong, they come for your throat. And the throats of your family, too. It's sad, it's wrong, it isn't justified in any way. I wish it wasn't happening to your family, but that's how people are. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. And maybe you should have considered the well-being of your loved ones before you asked a 16-year-old girl to skinny dip with you. I don't know, just a thought.
We can't even use our own personal Instagram accounts to show our followers, the people that support us every day, pictures that we want to show them, videos that we want to show them, because when we do, they're just spammed relentlessly with absolutely disgusting comments, untrue statements, and rubbish beyond belief by anonymous accounts, even not anonymous accounts. Just people who are completely and utterly misguided in what they're thinking.
Okay, so you're gonna blame someone for being misguided when you got shit like this floating around the internet. I'm at a loss for words. How are people supposed to react? You can't just like look at this and be like, yeah, it's probably not real. It's, people fake this kind of stuff. These girls, they're making it up. They just want the publicity. They just want the fame. They're in it for the money. That's a real comment I got. They're in it for the money. What?
So we need to sell that house and move to somewhere much more private where nobody knows our address and we can feel safe again.
I've actually heard rumors of this. So knowing that they're actually moving is really a shame. It shouldn't be like that. And honestly, it's really, really, really messed up for someone to leak their address. That shouldn't have happened. There's no justification for that whatsoever, and it really does suck that they're having to move because of it.
Calling somebody publicly the disgusting things and wrong things that people have been calling me is such a dangerous thing to do.
Alright, so this part, it kind of seems like he's directing at the victims. Oh guys, it's dangerous to say this kind of stuff about me. It's dangerous, not only for my family, but for me as well. Yeah, the girls did nothing wrong, Chris. I hate to tell you. They have every right to come forward and speak their truth, whereas you're in no position to shut them down and potentially scare other victims into staying quiet. Stop, please.
All because they've got some misguided and wrong idea that I'm interested in children.
Take a shot every time he says misguided, and you'll be hammered before the halfway point.
Smaller YouTubers that maybe get 100 to 200 views per video now do a video on exposing Chris Ingham, and they get a couple of 100,000 views. So the same small YouTuber then does multiple videos using my name in the title, exposing Chris Ingham version 2, or whatever it may be. And they keep these views rolling in and rolling in, all just to gain their own personal following, to increase their own public profile, to earn money from monetization, whatever it might be.
When a big issue like this surfaces, you're gonna get your fair share of cretins who don't care and are just trying to leech off the situation for views and money, for that sweet, sweet ad revenue. I can't speak for anybody else who's made videos or talked about it, but I can at least speak for myself and say that my intentions have never been view-driven. If I wanted to get views, I'd just post a 6-minute video of me reading subreddits in an Australian accent. So no, I'm not doing this for views or the money. My channel isn't even monetized. I'm doing this because I think it's important people know. If you're not gonna fess up to your own mistakes, Chris, that doesn't mean other YouTubers much bigger than I am aren't going to hold your feet to the fire. Whether it's someone huge or someone minuscule, you're not gonna be able to run away from this quite as easily as you may think.
All of the people that are posting these disgusting, wrong, completely incorrect and defamatory statements about me online right now. The ones that are trying so hard to destroy the Ingham family. Why? Why would anybody want to do that to a family?
Okay, so let's just apply that same question to your stance, shall we? You're denying every allegation. So in turn, you're painting Jess, the original victim, as a liar. Jess claimed to be a fan of your channel, hence why she wanted to meet up with you in the first place. And now she's coming out and saying that you're a creep and saying that you tried to groom her the entire time while at the hotel. So why would Jess even want to make any of it up if she's been such an adamant fan of the Ingham family? If it wasn't true, then why would she feel the need to come after your reputation, Chris? And why would she have waited several months to do so? She has nothing to gain from this. I mean, you could say attention, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. Why would this random 16-year-old girl want this kind of notoriety? It just doesn't add up to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe that's it. It doesn't make sense to me. Really doesn't.
Can someone please tell me why these grown adults have a private Facebook group they are messaging minors on? And by messaging, I mean inappropriately communicating with them. This is so gross, and this family, the Ingham family, should have been canceled a long time ago. So get ready to pay close attention, grab a snack, and wash it down with some hot tea. You guys definitely know the Ingham family. There is Chris and Sarah, and they have several kids and 1.5 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. They are well known, and they are from the UK, and they are a perfect example of a terrible family channel. I think most recently on my channel, I talked about how they were selling a baby doll lookalike of their son, which is honestly so gross, and they put it out very shortly after their child was born. So they pretty much had their baby in the making while the wife was pregnant with the current baby. It's just so weird. And they continue to not only invade their child's privacy, but profit off of their children. Chris Ingham is the father of the family, and he is the creepazoid. He is the weirdo, the one who has caused so many problems in his family. I mean, Sarah's a bully, and we know that, and we can let that slide. But Chris has done disgusting things, and he has talked to children inappropriately, and honestly, I would love to get into detail, but I really can't because YouTube already gets me in trouble. So if you want to learn more about that, go watch my last video on it. But he is doing more disgusting things online involving minors, and I'm here to call him out, but also ask you guys to check out this Facebook group, and if you feel inclined to report them, just do your thing. So the Inghams, who are YouTubers, have this Facebook page they created, I guess, to talk to their subscribers some more, some of their fan bases. I have no idea what the real intentions were, or if Chris just wanted to get on there so if you can talk to young girls. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past him, but we're just guessing at this point. You guys can check out the group linked in my description below. Honestly, it's such a weird thing for me to think about and to just talk about this stuff because it is so just out of this world, and I can't believe that Chris continues to do this type of stuff after all the stuff he's already done. Bruh, you just haven't learned your lesson yet. So Chris did something very, very stupid, which is expected at this point. Honestly, this dude has done so much damage. I didn't think it could get worse, but there was a post posted in their group where they did a little ABC reply deal where you reply with all the same words with the same letters in the reply. Hopefully that makes sense. So pretty much Chris decided to reply with C, I believe, because, Chris, and he filled out all the answers to these questions using C's. Well, at first you'll notice for animal, he decided not to use chicken, not to use rooster, but use a scientific name for the chicken because he obviously wanted to say that word online. It makes him feel good talking to little 14-year-old girls on this Facebook page and bringing up that word. I guess maybe it makes him his heart beat a little faster. At this point, it is so gross, I just don't even want to get into details. But it does get much, much worse because when it comes to the body part, he actually put some emojis because I guess he didn't want to use the same chicken word again. He just wanted to, give a hint at what he was referring to. His favorite body is obviously his plum, which is really disgusting to think about, especially with little kids on this Facebook place. Even in general, who says if someone asked me oh, Sloan, what is your favorite body part? I would not be oh, you know what? It's my, that is just so gross to me. What is this dude thinking? Also, do influencers just not understand that, like, you can't post something like this? Like, it will haunt you, and now people are, like, thriving. I don't know if it's boycotting, it's not boycotting, but they are coming together to try to remove this Facebook group, and honestly, I'm here to join them because this kind of behavior is disgusting, and if it was a one-time thing, I would be like, you know, we'll let it slide, but this has been over and over again, and this guy has done so much damage, just not even online, but in the real world with that girl in Florida, and this little comment is just an example, or a little, like, insight, a little peek into what is actually happening on this Facebook group, and I actually am worried for these children who are on this group. You might be wondering, Sloan, you are just so dramatic. Like, it was one comment, it's no big deal. Well, parents have tried to join this Facebook group, but they have been declined. Yet their 14-year-old children, 13-year-old children, 16-year-old children are able to join the group and talk to the adults. So it's a little bit weird that adults are being declined. I put in my request, so we'll see if I'm approved. But it's weird that people who are adults are declined, but young girls are getting in really easily. Someone's actually shared their experience of this happening with this Facebook group. They said, me and my 14-year-old daughter tried to join that page. Same answers, she's in, and I've been blocked. Thankfully, she's only in there as a spy. This is disgusting when they know the target audience and ban the parent. Obviously, them banning the parents or trying to get adults out of their page just show that Chris is just running it and trying to have young girls on his page. Like, he doesn't want anyone's mothers, he wants the 14-year-olds. And it just freaks me out that people are like this on YouTube and that these people are supported by YouTube and employed by YouTube. Like, bro, like, can your boss get you in trouble for your online behavior because you are pretty much employed, like, by the internet at this point? So I think he should probably get a little investigated for just this little bit right here. Like, why aren't you allowing the parents to join the group? Hopefully soon the page will just be down completely, and I don't think they should just be on Facebook, bro. Like, we've already, I guess we've allowed you to stay on YouTube after what has happened, but, like, how much more can we take? No man should be telling a group of children or anyone or any minors online that his favorite body part is his. That is just so gross to me and beyond. And these kids are vulnerable people. They're talking to influencers. They're being manipulated. And I just don't like any of it. I don't think any of it's good. And I think Chris knows exactly what he is doing. This is the type of stuff he loves, that he thrives off of. And that's why I have to call him out. Things haven't been great for the Ingham family in general on YouTube. They've had a lot of content deleted recently, and it is not looking good because they continue to put little shots of their children that look gross, that show a body part that shouldn't be shown, that are inappropriate, and obviously Chris thinks it's okay because he's editing it and putting it up, but a lot of people have been reporting their videos, and if you watch their videos and you're a fan, or you're looking at this video now and you remember a video where you saw something that kind of made you uncomfy, maybe you should go report it because this family is finally being held accountable, and I think this is a good vibe. Like, I want to hold people accountable, and I think Chris Ingham, like, he definitely should be, especially after all of these things that he has done. It's just the same type of behavior that is going to cause more and more pain and more people to suffer from what he is doing, what he is selfishly doing by manipulating people online. And just so you guys know, their social blade is doing quite well. They've got $200,000 coming in a year on YouTube, so YouTube obviously doesn't care that they're posting these gross things or they're getting reported or any of that, because YouTube and Google or whatever, they're all one thing, support this type of behavior, and that's why we need to call them out and hold them accountable, because these people are doing gross things online. Not only are they just, like, profiting off of their children, whether they're selling dolls or making tons of videos, but they are also using their privilege and their platform to manipulate other children and do bad things. Keep in mind that I think this family is selfishly using their children. I don't know if the children get their own little savings account or the details of that, nor do I think that anyone really even focuses on that, but I saw this one reply from Sarah and I thought it was a little weird, and I saved this on my laptop for weeks now, ready to talk about this. Pretty much they said, do the girls want to continue YouTube when they're older? I love your channel. Well, Sarah replied and she said, I will always support any decision they make for their future, but I would rather they didn't do YouTube when they're older. That place is just so full of jealousy and evilness. Right now, we can protect them from the disgusting things said. But if they were to do it themselves, we wouldn't, and I wouldn't wish the rubbish we have seen on my worst enemy, never mind my children. It's sad because anyone should be allowed to choose what they want to do to earn a living without fear of others. But it's true. And I just have to say, say, I understand like the point, like where people are, you know, saying gross things about you, but also you've done gross things. And I just think that if you're going to put your child online and create this lifestyle for them, but expect them to not live this lifestyle, it's just going to create such a weird environment for the child growing up with cameras in their face and growing up with this certain type of privilege, and then to be like, I don't know, we're not doing YouTube anymore, and to have to go to I don't know, it'd be normal to go to a school and live your best life, but I just think it's weird that you're going to make her work as a child star on YouTube when she's young, but you would prefer if she doesn't do that when she's older. And it's like, well, wouldn't that be the easiest thing for her to do? Like, you already forced her into this lifestyle, like wouldn't it be easier for her to just continue and do her own thing? But that's just my opinion. I thought it was weird, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, that Facebook group, like, what do you guys think? I think it should be removed, but that's just me. But thank you so much for supporting my channel and trying to protect the children on YouTube and in the real world. If you want to support my channel, you can donate to PayPal, but no pressure at all. I really love you guys so much, and thank you for creating such a nice, safe space on this channel. I think we all just have a great community, and together we will fight to not only protect children, but call out gross influencers like Chris who are overusing their power. I almost said the A word, you know, I can't say that word on YouTube. But anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Hi guys, you can probably tell what this video is going to be by the title, and I'm only doing this video because a few people have messaged me, tweeted me saying that I should just do it as a video. If you don't have me on Twitter, I basically did a response and an open letter to Chris Ingham, basically kind of a response to the video he put up very recently on his own personal channel, and it's basically how I feel towards the situation at the moment. So I'm just going to sit here and read the letter out, because I know that he does check the YouTube videos with his names in, because nearly everyone who's made a YouTube video about him has got a letter from a lawyer of some sort. So I know that whoever's, either him or whoever's giving him advice or anything, is watching YouTube videos, whereas I'm not sure about Twitter. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here and read this letter. When I'm reading it, I'm going to put the screenshots of what I put on Twitter on the screen so you can read it along down there. I've also left it till now to upload me reading the letter, because as you can understand, when he uploaded that video, I was, let's just say I went downhill, and I was very upset by it, obviously, and I didn't quite know what to do. But after talking to lots of people, they've told me to do this, and so I'm going to do it. And obviously, yeah, I'm just explaining why I've taken so long to actually upload a video of me reading out the letter. And yeah, it's basically because of how his video made me feel. I didn't feel comfortable filming a YouTube video, basically. And I wrote this open letter to Chris, not to attack him. I think it was the night after he uploaded that video, I literally just wrote down exactly how I felt, and that's what came out. I feel like what's in my open letter he needs to read, and he needs to hear, and he needs to realise that he's trying to manipulate and make people feel guilty for him when he's the one who's done this to himself and his family, and it's the decisions he made that has now affected him and his family, and he shouldn't be blaming the victims who have come out, because it's not just me who's come out. I'm the only one who's vocally and openly speaking about it the way I am, but there are so many girls who just haven't said anything and have only like messaged me, and it's just not right that he's doing this. And we can't keep letting people in power abuse their power, abuse the fact that they're famous to use people and get, like, yeah. I do feel for his kids. I do feel so bad for his kids. But I had to come out and say something to the public because otherwise no one would have ever found out. And yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the letter and then maybe at the end go back through and explain a few bits for some people who may not know certain things. Dear Chris Ingham, why, just why? Why are you still denying it? What good has come out of you staying silent and then after 2 months making me and the other girls feel guilty for something you did? Why did you make a 20-minute video talking about your poor children and your poor pregnant wife instead of actually owning up to what you've done? Not once did you mention the messages you sent me. Why are you still daily vlogging? You told us that behind the scenes you were all a mess. If you really cared about the safety of your children, if you really cared about your poor pregnant wife, if you were really feeling that shit behind the scenes, then why are you all acting so happy on camera, lying to these children who have no idea what's going on? They deserve to know. You went on and on about threats you've been getting. I bet you haven't once thought about the death threats I've been receiving. People telling me that if they see me on the streets and they will murder me, that they will happily go to jail for the IFAM, that they want me to die. People telling me to kill myself, constantly. Why are you blaming a possible miscarriage on me, the other victims and people supporting us? It's unfair. And please don't use your wife's spotting as a reason to use a possible miscarriage as clickbait. It's disgusting. You claim to have the top lawyers in the country, yet forgot to mention that I have not once been contacted by a lawyer. If I was lying, I surely would have been contacted by a lawyer and had my story deleted immediately. The police have done a statement, and it's in the news. I've done video proof that the messages are real. I don't know what else to do. Why are you trying to make me and the other victims feel guilty? Why are you trying to manipulate people? Why are you not owning up to the things you did? All you are doing is making my life worse. Me and the other victims have done nothing wrong. All we've done is share what you have done. Did you really think you would get away with doing it forever? Please stop blaming me and the victims for what you've done. Please stop hoping this will be brushed under the carpet. Please stop acting as if nothing has happened by continuing to upload daily vlogs, by disabling comments, by deleting social medias. People want and need proper answers from you, not a 22 minute of you trying to guilt trip everyone, and they need the truth from you. The truth. You have no idea how damaging this is to me. Yours sincerely, Jess, one of your victims. That letter kind of explains itself. I just wanted to explain a few things for people who may not be aware or may not know about it. In his 22-minute long video of him explaining why he's been silent, he not once mentions the messages he sent me or the other girls. He doesn't actually acknowledge or talk about the whole situation and what he's been accused of. All he does is tell people he's not a paedophile, and he just tells people that he's got a poor pregnant wife, and he just tells people think of his poor children, and he's trying. All that video was doing was trying to guilt trip and manipulate people. I'm not really going to explain any more about that letter, that open letter to him, because it kind of just explains it in it. If there's anyone who's had any experience with anyone, not just Chris, if anyone's had any experience they need to talk to someone about it, you can message me or tell someone, just tell someone, because you will be believed and you have people who support you, and you can't keep this to yourself. You need to tell someone and get the support you need. Thank you so much to anyone who's messaged me, to anyone who's tweeted me, to anyone who's supporting me. It means the world, and thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.
I want to time lapse you doing your hair, okay? So you dry your hair whenever you're ready, alright? It's so funny.
Oh my god.
Esme, you're a good sport.
Yeah.
Should we get Isla?
Yeah.
Let's get Isla. Alright, baby G, can I film you doing your hair? Is that alright? Come on then, darling. It just missed your face.
I'm doing it.
You were just hiding it. You just had it just over your face. You just had it just above your hair. So it's made all your hair white.
I didn't know at all, so when I put mine on, it blew all in my face and got in my eyes.
Unfortunately, that was a little bit of a fail on the second one because as Isla picked the hairdryer up, loads of talc fell out of it. Yeah. And she was like, Daddy, you're pranking me. And I'm like, nah, man. And so she turned it on with caution. I guess she heard me and Esme laughing too loud from upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
Friday that I just wish I could film. I wish I could send a GoPro into the pool and film Esme doing some cool stuff.
You can't put it in the pool.
Well, you can. We can put an underwater camera in there, but you're not allowed to, babe. Not allowed to. Child protection, safety, and all that stuff, which I definitely don't 100% agree with. Like, I think it goes way over the top most of the time in this country these days. But anyway, I wish I could film in there. It's so cute. I feel so proud of her every single week how well she does. And I can't show you guys, and I wish I could. At one point on my Friday that I
What are your thoughts on the racism happening in America right now? So I'm guessing that's to do with George Floyd. I watched the video yesterday, and I watched it yesterday morning, and while we were out in having our picnic, I brought it up and I was telling Chris, and Isabel was like, are we gonna listening in? And then they later watched the video, and I honestly think it's disgusting. Like, I actually cried watching that video because you could actually, you could literally see the life being taken out of him, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. I don't care on colour. I don't care on skin colour, eye colour, hair colour, race. I don't care. Nobody deserved what that guy got.
Those policemen should face criminal charges.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, they should.
Anyway, obviously racism's, just to end that little segment, racism is not okay in anywhere in life at all. It's absolutely downright disgusting. And personally, I think that those police officers should definitely face criminal charges for their actions.
pussy, watch your talking on the seats. Get the fuck out of my way. Don't give a fuck, think I'm fine. I just like girls who don't say. Give me a sack of my bag. Get the fuck out of my way. Don't give a fuck, think I'm fine. I just like girls who don't say. Give me a sack of my bag. Someone got the bitch, you watch your talking on the seats. Get the fuck out of my way. Don't give a fuck, think I'm fine. I just like girls who don't say. Give me a sack of my bag. Someone got the bitch, you watch your talking on the seats. Get the fuck out of my way. Don't give a fuck, think I'm fine. I just like girls who don't say. Give me a sack of my bag.